and gentlemen, and welcome to the Serpents Open March tournament. This is not a misfortune, bringing you the very first round of this last qualifier for the winter season final. And this game is between two players that you might not have heard before, but of course, as always, I'm trying to highlight newer players before we get to those very important rounds later on. We'll talk about the tournament and how it works for those of you that are new in just a bit, but let's just introduce our players. The map is, of course, Arctic Refuge, so in the top right-hand corner, spawning in orange, it is our Aeon commander with the name of Master of Vengeance. He has plopped down one research station and two land factories and doing really good on eco so far. Decent build, although, you know, we like to see air on this map sometimes, but it's definitely not wrong, especially considering what his opponent is doing, who is our green UEF commander with the name of Novitrix. He's plopping down one research station and queuing up three land factories, so that's going to be a little bit strenuous on his economy. I don't think he'll be able to afford that third one quite yet. And it looks like we're good on energy. It looks like we have Harvogs from our orange player, and he's going to be trying to flank with those right away. He's probably been watching Iron Commander play. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I see we have 6 viewers right now. Hopefully we can increase that. Last tournament we had quite a bit of viewers, so share it with your friends, family, and foes. Hey, we're up to 7. There we go. What I just said, it works. No, I'm just kidding, because we do have a 5-minute delay, and these are smaller tournaments, so I try to engage with the chat as much as I can, but of course with a 5-minute delay, it's kind of hard. But I'm super thankful for these players playing. You know, we had 16 players once again joining this tournament, and it's absolutely wonderful to see even more people playing and newer people playing. As you can tell, obviously these two we have not seen before. And, you know, if you guys don't know or don't realize, of course, for each time I host a tournament, I make these overlays and I update them with the country flags for each player. So this time around, I added like 4 or 5 new flags. So it's kind of insane. Of course, we had China players joining us last time, which was absolutely wonderful to see. But this time we have, you know, Italy for Master of Vengeance, first Italian of the league, and then Canada. If you don't know what that flag is, if you're wondering why is there a maple leaf next to Novitrix's name, well, it's because he's a Canadian. Looks like we already have a couple of flanking here going, and it looks like Novitrix is actually handling pretty well. He's engaging in the center with his commander. I don't think he sees this flank on the bottom, though. But he's overall staying pretty aware of it. It looks like he is seeing the one on the bottom, although he's not really responding to it yet. No, he is responding. It's just these bots kind of went the other way. And Novitrix is doing pretty good. Unfortunately, I think did his engineer get taken out? I can't quite tell. You know, overall, not bad. Not bad. You know, newer players sometimes, especially under pressure of a tournament, you guys have no idea how hard it is to deal with flanks. And, you know, Supreme Commander 2 might not be the most difficult game to deal with flanks, but it is nevertheless, when you're under stress and you've pumped yourself up and you're nervous even, you know, you can never know how a player can react. I don't know why there's some anti-air. This should normally be a reactive thing, Novitrix, if you're watching this retrospectively. You don't really want to build Arcanist unless you're absolutely sure your opponent is going to go air, which in this case I don't think you can assume that. He does have an engineer here, Novitrix. Going to start rebuilding those mass extractors right away, reclaiming all the mass. Not bad, honestly. Again, surpassing my expectations. I think Master of Vengeance is a more well-known player. I think he had a different name before, but I think he's in the a kind of frequent flyer in the big Discord channel. So I don't know. I've never watched these players play. Actually, Novitrix I did. I think he actually played last year in one of the tournaments. I think he played in the fall tournament. I should have looked this up. But I don't think he went past the group stages of that tournament. He's advancing his commander here. It's a bit dangerous. He might get caught out of position if Master of Vengeance realizes What is he doing? Uh-oh. Novitrix's ACU. Oh, maybe he's just trying to aggro. I don't know. Maybe he is, but I would have my army a little closer. There's shields for on those Harvogs. Tanks are engaging. Tanks are going to do very well against Harvogs, even with the shields. And yeah, I mean, he is splitting his army as well, which is very interesting. Or maybe I was just on an intentional switch. Master of Engine's doing very well, though, to start expanding his mass, but he really needs to plop down another. Oh, he's plopping down a point defense, realizing that his opponent doesn't really have mobile missile launchers. So very nicely done. That's going to stop Novitrix's advance. He's going to plop down a factory right in front of it, probably put down a shield on it if he needs to. He's going to be super, super safe here. I would like to see him transitioning into tanks, and right even before I get the chance to check or say it, he does transition into tanks here. So beautiful. Perhaps he has been watching my replays. I think he has, because he actually comments on quite a bit of them. So guys, shameless plug here. Check out my YouTube. Hopefully I help you guys with your strategy selection. Supreme Commander 2 is one of those games that is, in my opinion, easy to learn but hard to master, because you need to know exactly how to counter what your opponent is doing. And then, of course, at the very, it's kind of like a sinusoid in terms of that. So it's hard to learn, then it's hard to get decent, and then it's hard to, I don't know what I was saying. It's hard to learn. It's easy to learn micro at first, I think, and then it's hard to learn macro then to like respond to your opponent, and then it's really hard to learn the micro at the very top of the level. So it's kind of an interesting phenomena, I think, in Supreme Commander 2 that kind of goes back and forth in terms of skill difficulty. Wow, these two players are both very highly aware of on their map awareness. Pretty good here. Point defense going down to stop these 3 tanks, which is perfect. Perfect timing too. Just popped up right as those tanks were engaging there. Very nicely done. I think this last tank is going to get taken out. Oh, could have been microed a little bit better, probably out of that point defense's range, but whatever. There's 2 point defenses here. There's still no mobile missile launchers. Let's see if Novitrix realizes this. Master Vengeance Commander is in half health, though. His tanks are engaging, though, here. Shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to push back. Nice concave here set up by Novitrix. I'm really not sure if he's doing this on purpose, but if he is, that's really, really good. But that's going to force Master of Vengeance. I'm just going to call him Master to back off here. And again, Novitrix is doing a good job. You know, he's behind on mass extractors. I would love to see him start to expand. I don't know what happened to his engineer down here, actually. What happened? Oh, he is assisting his ACU. But yeah, this is going to start biting him in the butt here. As these additional land factories come online, it's going to start being very, very obnoxious. I'm not sure why he's sending 2 more tanks. He knows there's a point defense up here, but there's a mobile missile launcher following here in tow. There's a lot of land factories going down for Master of Engines, yeah, due to that expanded economy here. But there is a flank coming in for Novitrix on the right-hand side here as well. If that goes unnoticed, obviously that's going to be a little tough. And if I was Novitrix, I would start engaging quite a bit more here, because he does have the numbers right now, and a good portion of Master's army is still in Harvogs, I think. Yeah, it is. And yeah, okay, so I think he is doing it on purpose, because now he's a little bit slipping on his micro. And you definitely, if you're splitting, you have to engage with both your blobs at the same time. If you don't, you're kind of, it's worse than if you just blobbed it together. Looks like he was struggling for energy. Yeah, he forgot his 3rd energy generator. Yeah, so he's been struggling on resources. Mobile missile launcher is going to come in. Is going to start doing some work. I would target down that point defense first. And then he can definitely start targeting the rest. Something's wrong with my desktop audio, so you guys probably can't hear the game. So I apologize for that. I don't know what it is with that. It's like every game, every time, or for the past 3 tournaments, this has happened. I don't know. My audio channels, I think, get messed up between recordings, and I have way too many of them. So it is on default, so it's theoretically it's supposed to be taking the default, obviously, but I guess that's not the case. By the way, game 2 will be played on Coalition, so we might see air there. I think that's a little bit more favorable towards Aeon. And, I think Novitrix just bit himself. He was doing pretty good. I think Novitrix just bit himself in the foot here by not expanding. And the bots did shut down his initial expansion. By the way, hey, Petite Pan and Jugger got an R1 with all the octopi. All right. Well, that's weird. For those of you watching on YouTube, that probably just sounded very, very weird, but that's what's happening in chat right now. Yeah. So, yeah, Novitrix really just needed to expand. It got shut down early by those flanks, so Master of Vengeance just did an absolute job, great job there. So, if that's what he was going for, then that absolutely worked. But also, Novitrix, you kind of opened up with a very aggro build. And when you open up with an aggro build, especially when your opponent is going, oh, teleport coming out, I think that's going to be a snipe here. When you open up with an aggro build, you got to push, obviously. And if you sit back too much, you're just going to eventually get outspammed, especially by a player that's going economy. So Master of Vengeance does grab that first win. This is a best out of 2. And I forgot to talk about the tournament format, but we're going to get into that right after we get back into game 2, which is coming here pretty shortly. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2 between the Master of Vengeance and Novitrix. They've switched up their colors on me, but the map is Coalition Shipyard. Let's go ahead and introduce our players. Starting with the top, it is again our AN commander, this time spawning in purple. It is Master of Vengeance, hailing from Italy. Almost said Canada, but I got it. And he's going to go with his same strategy, I think. He's going to go Harvogs here with a double land factory. I think it's Harvogs. I'm going to be surprised if it's not. Especially considering what his opponent is doing here. He's plopping down 3 air factories. It is our red UEF commander with the name of Novitrix, who has added a little acronym or a little... Is that supposed to say beat the hell? No. I don't know what that... B-O-T-H... If you're in chat and you know what that means, let me know. I have no idea what it means, but might be a clan tag. I was gonna say beat the hell out of Novitrix, which would be very sad if he put that in his name, but who the heck knows? He really likes patrol, triangle patrols. It's very interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm really gonna hope that he opens up with bombers. Uh-oh. That's not good. There's already 3 Harvogs on the way. Novitrix, you got a scout. Yeah, you got a scout. Thank you. Still no bombers. You could have been starting bombers by now. Oh, okay. I know what the idea was. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but as UEF, you can't really do that because you don't have the bombing capabilities. And now what do? You see 2 land factories already on the way. He's doing a better job expanding this time around, I think. So I think he'll be a little better there. Pauses his... Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, this is fine. If you're watching this, Novitrix, it's fine. This is your, I mean, even for the second tournament, I mean, it's fine. It's, like I said, it's your strategy selection. You can't, when you've opened up like this and your opponent opened up like that and you've seen it, you can't do this anymore. You just can't. Because you have no ground firing capabilities right now. And what are you going to get out of the naval factory? Destroyers are obviously... Bot rushing to win, no honor. I agree, but you're also kind of biting yourself in the foot again there, Novitrix. You didn't scout, you didn't transition into bombers, you paused your air factories, and you built a naval factory that you're not even using right now. So you very much bit yourself in the foot. And even if you get a destroyer, which you are getting a destroyer, I think. Yeah, it is a destroyer. You can't do anything with it. The only thing you can do is target down structures, and it's going to be a long time before it gets anywhere it can do real damage. So yeah, even if you started producing bombers, this would have been a very difficult hold from the very start because of obviously Harvag AA. So very, very unfortunate there for Novitrix. I think this is going to be a very quick game too. This push might get stopped, and actually I have no idea what this commander is doing here, but if he PD pushes, that's going to be good, I guess. But might be a draw. I doubt it, but might be. No, there's just simply way too much. Yeah, see, and this cruiser, it's really good because it's effectively a very high damage mobile missile launcher and a higher range mobile missile launcher. But versus ground, it's gonna do nothing, especially against bots. Like if a bot dies to a Mastodon, that is, by the way, it's a cruiser, not a destroyer. I keep confusing them. Yeah, if a bot dies to a Mastodon, it's a very sad day for a Harvag. It's like dishonor on you, dishonor on your Aeon family, dishonor on your T-Rex. No, T-Rex has nothing to do with it. An anti-air tower is gonna come out here. If this is a draw, I'm gonna lose my shit. Oh, okay, all right. So this destroyer is actually gonna be targeting down the commander. Yo, this might be a draw. Oh my goodness. I don't think this is going to be a draw because he's starting getting down now, Novitrix, and there's a point defense here. If maybe that point defense was there closer to the commander earlier. Yeah, unfortunately, I think Novitrix focused down on the commander and try to go for a draw. What is happening right now? He's gonna try and heal his ACU. That point defense need to churn against the commander. Second point defense finishes. Oh man. What the heck? Novitrix is not expanding off of this, or sorry, Master of Vengeance is not responding or expanding off of this, but I don't think he really needs to. Building a land factory right in his opponent's face. That's mean. That's just rude. Oh no, don't go underwater. Novitrix, please. Guys, I am all for giving your all and fighting to your last dying breath in a tournament game, even when all is lost here. Like this is pretty hopeless. But this is not the way to do that. I'm just gonna say it. Especially as UEF, this is not the way. You have to have at least 10 research stations hidden away around the map for you to be able to do this. This is just mean. And, you know, if you're hoping to... Why is... Okay. I'm sorry, Novitrix. I'm not trying to be difficult. Everything I say, guys, everything I say is not to demoralize or to make fun of these players. It's to try and make them better. And Novitrix does call GG, so he does realize his loss. And, you know, I think it's just your opening. I mean, you've played assuming this is an air map, which technically in half the cases on this map is correct. But in other half, people who play Aeon really likes to open up bots. And your opponent's shown you that he likes to open up bots as well. I forgot to begin the tournament, but so yeah, you just have to kind of scout when you're opening up air, regardless. So Master Avengers does take the 2-0 lead, so congrats to him. Novitrix is not out, of course, and I forgot to talk about the tournament structure, so I'm gonna try and do that in the next game, but I'm gonna keep forgetting until probably the very end of the tournament. So I'll talk about that very, very soon. We're gonna go to round 2. Novitrix is not out, so he'll keep playing, and I'll see you very, very soon. If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.